Especially with the Telegraph specifically, when it comes to this client, it's always for him. And we know that basically the Telegraph is his little mouthpiece, the same way People Magazine. He's also leaked to People Magazine. There was that incident where People Magazine told everyone that Harry emailed them, and then they literally changed the story to change it to something else. So we know that he does leak, but the Telegraph is his main drop point. See, so when we get something like this, you really have to ask yourself, is this even coming from Eleanor Mills? You know, is that even, I don't think so. I always feel when it's something like this that is so obviously just out of there, just so stupid to even think, you realize this is probably from Harry. Or, Harry in one way, shape, or form, whether he spoke to this Eleanor Mills, whether he gave her the story. Now, we know Megan writes stories. Maybe she wrote it. But this is always what happens. Excuse me. This is always what happens with this pro-Harry media. Coming from the guy that said, no, well, the media is against us and against my wife and this, and that. Coming from him. We always see stories like this. As a matter of fact, we always see that now William's being attacked. Charles is being alleviated of any pressure to take away the titles or to do anything. Yes, I know. You don't have to say it in the comments. Oh, that's the act of parliament. Like, there's been so many different things when it comes to the act of parliament or the king. Which one? There's been so many different things. But whether it comes to right now or whether it comes to before, the media has always been on Harry's side. Always. And that's why it's so interesting to me when he tries to bitch about it, bitch and complain. I don't understand. How are you complaining? We've seen the Sun, even the Sun, and he's suing them, right? Or that already finished, whatever it is, whether it's still going or whether he's, it's already done. All of that, he's suing them and they would still run stories for him. Same thing with the Daily Mail. I believe that lawsuit is next year, 2026. The A&L. See, there's so many of them, you can't even keep up. So for Harry to try and say, no, well, the media is against me. The media is against my fake black wife. Like, for him to try and say that, either he's purposely lying, which in my opinion he is, or he's so stupid that he's blind to what these headlines, when they're regarding him and his fake black wife, to what they actually say. I think that's what it is. Either that, or there's also another aspect to that. He only wants positive stories. He doesn't want negative. Like, he knows that people talk good about him. He knows. He doesn't care, right? He only wants good press. He could literally be one of these rich people. We've heard about it before, these rich people, where I forgot which rich person it was, but it was something like she got mad because somebody wrote a story. And I can't believe that. Who do you think you are? Like, I'm a normal person, right? You and I, we're normal people. If the press wrote a story about us, okay, well, that's kind of weird. We're just normal people. We don't make millions of dollars. We don't have the influence that these rich people have. So when you see these rich people get upset that the media is talking about them, are you saying that you think that they shouldn't? And with something like this, with something like you and I, when we come together every day in videos and YouTube, right? Substack, stuff like that. Like, Harry really thinks that we shouldn't be allowed to do this because we're the peasants. I mean, look at what's going on in England right now. Keir Starmer was with the president yesterday, and he literally told the camera, Keir Starmer did. He said, we're not censoring people in the UK. He said that. That came out of his mouth. Keir Starmer said that. So for these people over there, I mean, censorship is so bad that they don't view it as censorship? Or is he literally, Keir Starmer, just lying to the world when he says we're not censoring people, but it's very obvious that they are? Just like Harry would want. I have no doubt, Harry is just a modern day royal from, the 1500s or 1400s. And whenever someone would say something, oh, off with his head. Off with his head. Him right there. Get him. Go get him. And off with his head. A public execution. That's the type of person that he is. Now, William, not so much. We've seen that William really is an actual man. He has balls. We've seen that. So with William, no, but Harry, yes. And Meghan probably brings it even more because we know Meghan doesn't like to be talked bad about as well. She only wants good press, right? So you put the two of them together, they're probably, I could just see it. I totally could see it. They're there in that Montecito fortress and the poor children are locked in cages staring at iPads, watching Suits on a loop, right? And they're up there in that Montecito fortress on the couch and they're like, yeah, babe, it's you and me against the world, right? And Meghan's like, yeah, it's you and me against the world and they don't like us because, dude, no. People don't like you because you're a-holes. But Meghan is like, no, they don't like us because I'm black and you're ginger. That's why they don't like us. No. And, as a matter of fact, quick comment on that Royals in Crisis. A quick comment. Harry and Meghan, Royals in Crisis. I saw it yesterday. And I got to tell you, wow. That was from 2020. That's what that was from. And I got to say, they went so hard on race. It was just over the top racial. Talking about Meghan being a black woman, talking about Meghan, the how could they do this to a black woman? I couldn't believe, and they're just, it was like race over and over and over. And I'm just sitting there watching it, and I'm just like, what the shit is this? What is this? What am I watching? That's the propaganda that they put out 5 years ago. And then you had these black women come on, and then you had this other woman come on, and they were saying, she literally said this, if you don't like her because of her race and not because of her actions and how she is. And I just started freaking laughing. I was like, do you have any idea? Watching it 5 years in the future, you can really see. Like, they went so racial. Yeah, exactly. The race card, hard. And I mean, they went with it as much as they could. And you can see, you want to know what's funny? She can't pull that card anymore, can she? Right? If you notice that, we never hear about that in 2025. Why aren't there stories still talking like that? Why aren't there stories in the Daily Mail or in so-and-so? As a matter of fact, why aren't there like royal experts out there that play the race card? Because it's full of shit. It's full of shit. Everybody knows that the race card doesn't play anymore, and that's why she doesn't play it, because it's out. And watching that 2020 documentary, I gotta say, damn, they just went race to like level 1,000. All right, let's get into this. Charles, now we're gonna do a poll. Charles and William should accept Harry's olive branch. 1 for yes, 2 for no. We're going to say it again. Charles and William should accept Harry's olive branch. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Tell me in the chat. Now, this is what the Telegraph is saying. And I have to say, man, I don't know how this could even happen. Because if Charles and William were to give in to this moron and his fake black wife, I got to say, damn. I just feel like that would look so bad on Charles and William. William, I don't think will ever get any kind of confirmation anyway, right? There will never be a headline that says William welcomes back Harry and William says he's glad that he's back. That's not going to exist. And the main reason is because of Catherine. Because Harry went after Catherine. Meghan goes after Catherine on a daily basis. William knows. William's not going to stand for that shit. Especially when it comes to Catherine. Especially. And the ones that piss me off the most, I don't know if you've seen them, the headlines in the press, and it says, Harry was thinking about Kate Middleton and their relationship from the past. What are you talking about? What relationship? What do you mean? I hate those headlines so much when it says that. It is so annoying. Okay, so let's see what everybody said. We got twos. We got twos everywhere. Oh, yeah, everybody. Yeah, everybody's saying no. Everybody's saying no. Let's see, Charles and William. The king and the prince should embrace the client's peace offering before it's too late. That is what family, royal or not, is about. You know, I'm just going to do, hold on. Let's just do a quick one, right? We're going to do a very quick search here. It's not going to take that long. Watch. Give me a list of all the things that Prince Harry did to his family in like traitorous things. Let's see. Just real quick. All right. We're not even going to take that long. See? And so the reason we're doing this, also, thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for being here on this morning edition of POV Live. Share the stream if you can. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much for being here. This is what they're claiming. That is what family, royal or not, is about. See? That's what the claim is. Okay. Let's see what family is about. The Telegraph, the Oprah Winfrey interview. Yes. Which, you know what? I saw that recently. I say about 2 months ago. I saw the whole thing and I did a story on it on my Substack. And you know what? He wasn't even there for the whole thing. It was her by herself because he's just her pet. Like, that really happened. And while I was watching the first part where it was just Meghan and Oprah, I was like, what the shit? Where's Harry? What's going on? Right? Where's Harry at? And then he doesn't come till the very end. And he was only there for like 30 minutes. And it was like a 2-hour deal. You know, Meghan is just, Meghan is the worst. Oh my God. Why it's seen as betrayal, claims of racism. Yes. And then he said it was the British press, the institution that failed to support Meghan's mental health. Nobody believes that. Charles cut them off financially. That Archie was denied a title for racial reasons. Okay. 4 things, very obvious, not true in the slightest. Now, the Charles cutting him off, you know, that's a conspiracy. So we're going to go with that. Yes, I do believe that as well. I mean, we've seen it, Christy. We've seen Harry be racist to people. And then he's so stupid that he films it. Idiot, right? That's just dumb. The spare book, in my opinion, I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, the spare book said nothing, but that's just me. I read it and I was like, what am I reading here? This just sounds like Harry's complaining for 400 pages. You know, in my opinion, the spare book was a physical altercation with William. Yes, you look like a little girl, Harry. Personal drug use. Yeah. Private text. And that right there. I don't like the whole mental health aspect of Prince Harry because he's admitted to saying, oh, well, I used narcotics use for my therapy. I don't like that. And I mean that in a very straight up way, not a Megxit POV way. I mean that in a very straight up way. I don't believe that people that should be pushing therapy should be talking about, oh, well, I use narcotics. Yeah, I use them. But you know what? I use them for my therapy. No, dude. No. And it gets me pissed off even thinking about that, because you know what that sounds more like to me? A rich kid that wants to have an excuse to do drugs. That's it. That's it. That's all it sounds like. That's all it sounds like. Oh, what's new with the massive $50 super chat? I hope William has invested in bigger dog bowls. You know, when it comes to that dog bowl thing, do you even think it was real? That it really happened? Or do you think it's one of those things that Harry was just making up? Because to me, you know what? It sounds like such a, I mean, I can't use that word because we kind of have been cursing at the beginning in the first 20 minutes. It sounds like such a little girl thing that that it's not even true and he was just trying to make William look bad by making up a story. Because me as a man, right? As a man, I could not imagine putting in a book that my brother kicked my ass. No, you're a man. That's embarrassing as a man. Your brother pushed you down. You know, I used to have a brother and we used to fight, right? But I'm not going to sit here and talk about the outcomes of those fights, especially if I lost. So I even have a hard time believing that the dog bowl crap was even real. I really do, because it's so embarrassing. It's so, like, when I read that, I was really, Harry, you're kidding. You're joking, right? This is a joke. This is a joke. That's what I said to myself when I read that. This is a joke. He's joking. That's not real. It makes you look like a little girl. Your brother, exactly. Who would even disclose that? Exactly. I can't even, and especially as a grown man, you see, the only thing that it says to me is he was doing it on purpose because he wanted to make William look bad. Because it's such a little girl story. And I don't mean that as girl as in boys. You know what I'm saying? Figuratively. Like, it's such a little girl thing. It really is. And to think that this grown ass man, he talks like that. It's just, ugh. Okay, going on with this. Hold on, we're going to put this back up for massive super chat. What's new? Netflix docuseries. The two, you know, this one, I can be honest, I've never seen it. I'm thinking about watching it pretty soon. Maybe even doing some videos on it. I've never seen it. I know the little pieces. I know about Doria and how she's a massive racist. I know about Meghan and the curtsy thing. You know, I know about Harry and doing all these other kind of things that I've seen clips of, but I've never seen it. And I don't think for some reason they said anything in that thing either. You know, like the way we were talking about Spare, where Harry really didn't say anything except that he wanted to blow his dad up with a drone, right? I don't think the Netflix docu, like, I'll watch it today. I'll watch the first episode today. And I bet you I'm going to get through the first episode and I'm going to be like, okay, I'm waiting for something to happen. And it's probably not going to be anything. It's probably just going to be a boring ass documentary of them complaining. That's probably all it's going to be. All right, let's get this next one. Leaving royal duties. You know what? I've actually come around to an idea that, yes, Harry is a part of the royal family. I was talking with that on the live with Manuela and Paula. And also on the live, I think I did that on Friday night. Was it? I don't remember. I think I was having a really good time that night. And I remember we were talking about the fact that, yes, he did remove himself from working duties, right? But he didn't remove himself from the family. That's the one right there. See? So if you really think about it, it's just his lazy ass. Harry doesn't want to work. Harry doesn't want to go and do what William does. Like, just a quick, we can put it on Google. How many appearances does Prince William have planned in the next month? See, royal. Okay, well, it's not going to give me an answer. Okay, let's go and look. Watch. Let's see. Allow all. Duke of Gloucester, Edinburgh, Gloucester. Okay, so nothing there. We got a better one here. Watch. Let's say, how many public engagements has William done this year? Let's see what the number is. See if there's a number. 71, 93. Look at that right there. Harry, were you paying attention? You lazy. Okay. Oh. Prince William has been out 93 times. Imagine if Harry had to leave the house 93 times. He probably doesn't leave the house for weeks on end. And I don't mean because he works from home. I don't mean because of that. We know that his job is going and flying around places and giving stupid speeches, right? So in no way, shape, or form do I believe at all, because Harry's a lazy ass. And then we go back to this. leaving royal duties because he's a lazy ass, right? Harry would never be able to keep up with 93 engagements, and we're barely going to be in August. See, that's a lot, man. How many things has Harry actually done in the last year? Like 4? You know, the New York City thing for the Clinton Foundation. Remember when he was with the WHO leader? The one that he just did in Shanghai. Invictus Games really doesn't count, but fine, that's 3. Invictus Games. Okay, fine. Next one. Okay. That's 3. How many appearances in the last year has Harry done? I think it's going to be a really low number. 17, dude. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at that. I am all red. Oh. What a lazy freaking loser, man. This guy has no job. Okay? He's got nothing to do all day. Nothing. And he's only left the house 17 times. In comparison to William, that has done 93. Wow, man. You know, and then you think, you realize why. Yeah, he left his royal working duties because he's lazy. Just like his fake black wife. Exactly like his fake black wife. Profiting off royal status, literally, because that's all he's got. He literally has nothing else besides his name. And I mean that honestly, and you want me to tell you why? I mean that because Polo was crap. That's why. Harry had the biggest opportunity. He had the biggest opportunity in Polo to do something, you know, to create content, to be a part of this and prove that you just didn't get the 100 million because your name is Prince Harry. He had the opportunity to do that, and he chose not to do it. See? So that's him. That's his little laziness. You don't want to say that. You know, that's what we're talking about. And hey, man, that's what you get, Harry. That's exactly what he gets. Ignoring or leaking private family talks. Yeah, leaking everything. Oh, what's new with the massive 10 gifted POV memberships? Thank you so much. What's new? And thank you so much for being here. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and share the stream if you can. We got this new POV Live in the morning and POV Live happy hour on Fridays, and we are going hard. Thank you so much. What's new? We're going to leave this up. Let's see. You know, and we're going to finish off with this family. So now we're going back to this, right? After all of this that we've already read. So the Telegraph said that is what family, royal or not, is about. Hey, Telegraph, that is what being a friggin' traitor, that's what it's about. It's about being a traitor. And we saw it. And, you know, this photo is just so, like, you know what they're doing. Like, they're kissing on the cheek. He's in the background watching, you know. Oh, these people are just the worst of all time. Oh, there's nothing sadder. Oh, nothing makes me sadder. More depressing than a family feud. This isn't a feud, man. It's Harry. No. Sorry, Telegraph. We're not going to let you get away with that. It's not. See, this is the problem. All right, Christy, right? Propaganda. This is the problem. A feud would mean that William is doing stuff to Harry as well. And that's not true. It's just not. So I don't know why they continue to say this. Oh, because they're for Harry, even though Harry says the media hates him and his fake black wife. From one ill with cancer, estranged from one of their 2 children. They're not children. Okay, they're not children. They're 40 years old. I don't know why they did that. And also in that documentary from 2020, they were calling Harry and William boys. And back then, Harry was 35 or 36. William must have been 40. And they were calling them Boys. Oh, the two boys. The boys should really do this, and the boys and the boys. And I'm like, why are you calling them boys? Harry and William are grown ass men, but of course, because that's how they have to treat it. Life is short and precious. Graveyards full of irreplaceable CEOs, yada, yada, yada. Irreplaceable are families. King Charles and Prince William should not just accept Harry's olive branch. What? It doesn't even seem like an olive branch with what Charm Accent said. It does feel like as if you're talking about these people where Harry just wants to get to know what the royal family is doing. Like, to give them his little diary? Who cares? What the shit is that? How is that some kind of olive branch? The only people that Harry's olive branch offered the weekend diary, clips in the front pages quickly. Palace sources gesture goes some way. Will go some way to mollifying his father. Really? You believe that? Do you believe that? The dreaded palace sources indicate that this gesture by Harry will go some way to mollifying his father. Really? I don't know about that. But fine. This month, inadvertently not Queen Camilla's. Yes, because he went to Angola like a douche. And then that right there. The fact that Harry went to Angola for Camilla's birthday, he did it on purpose. I don't know how this is not supposed to be that. Whether we're prince or paupers, family is family. No, traitors are traitors. How about that? Sometimes nearest and dearest drive us nuts. Or they turn on you. The nearest and dearest, they turn on you. How about that, lady? Sometimes we may not love their choice of partner. Oh, there it is. Oh, man. Come on, man. Really? We may not love their choice of partner. Oh, it's because the royal family doesn't like Meg. That is so stupid. That's Meghan Markle wanting to know the royal family activities. Exactly, right? What's new? Jeez. Oh, and there it is. Of course, they have to write that crap. Sometimes they behave in which hurt or humiliate. Sometimes. I haven't seen one time that they don't. But them's the breaks. Dude, man, the Telegraph is essentially telling the royal family just to get over it. That's exactly what is happening. Everything in the last 5 years. I mean, those are the breaks, man. Just get over it. Really? God, these people suck. Blood is thicker than water. That's not even actually the phrase. There's more to that phrase, but okay. Our kin are our kin. The point is family will look past faults. Past faults. He's a traitor. How is that a fault? That's a decision. Embrace the love that binds. We bite our tongues when we want to yell and give them a big hug anyway. They are our brother, dad, sister, which makes more in the long run feel peaked. Those families learn lower expectations, move on. Those of us who live in complicated families learn to lower our expectations and move on. Oh my God. Oh man. This takes some balls. This is definitely from Harry. This is definitely a leak from Harry. Man, because that sounds like Harry. Harry hasn't apologized yet. He didn't apologize in that BBC interview. Remember the BBC interview? He didn't say, I'm sorry. He didn't say anything like, I'm sorry, as a matter of fact. So this sounds like it's from Harry. That right there, that is shameless. That's the word, shameless. Those of us who live in complicated families learn to lower our expectations and move on with love. No. Megan, did you just put an Easter egg in here? Oh my God. You know what? This woman, that looks like an Easter egg. With love, Megan. Lower our expectations and move on with love. That's an Easter egg if I ever seen one. That's what that is right there. Megan wrote this. She wrote this. Wow. That is just too much. With love. Obviously, Megan, that is just ridiculous. Harry lost his mom as a child. Yes, we know, and he hasn't shut up since. Dad has cancer, grandchildren in years. His brother needs him. Huh? What? Hold on. His brother needs him? So William needs Harry now. Oh my God. I'm going to have an aneurysm. The cousins should know each other. We don't even know if they exist. What are you talking about? This is a time for royal family to pull together to let bygones be bygones. There it is. Come on, Charles, show some true statesmanship, be fitting to your role as the head of the Church of England, and forgive. Oh, snap. Hold on. Oh, she said both of them. And forgive Harry and Meghan. Damn. Forgive both of them. Okay. You know what? This is definitely written by Meghan. She needs to get back in because she's lost her income. We know of Meghan. You lost your income. Just go back to yachting. Before it's too late, that is the yardstick by which you will be judged. We may not all be kings, but we all know what family is about. Harry is trying to meet you on the territory you most care about, your royal image. You mean the same royal image that was attempted to be destroyed by him? Is that what you're talking about? That same royal image that this man has tried every single other week for the last 5 years to destroy? That one? Is that what we're talking about? It's up to you as king, but most importantly as his father, to bury the hatchet. Come on, Charles, be the grown-up. Well, of course. Yeah, of course. Because Harry is a child. Yes, you are correct, Meghan, because it's very obvious that Meghan wrote this crap. Eleanor Mills, that sounds like such a made-up ass name. And look, it's already short. Look at that, Meghan. Are you going to put, Meghan, can you put some freaking effort into these articles? What is this, like 500 words? It's got to be like 500 words. Jeez. Hey, Meghan, if you're going to write articles, all right, write them a little longer. God. It's up to you as king, but most importantly as father, to bury the hatchet. Come on, Charles, be the grown-up. Yes, because Harry's 13. The paterfamilias, and get off your high horse. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. There's no time like the present. Wow. You know, this is the thing. Of course, Charles doesn't read this shit, right? But when I read this, I try and put it as if they're talking to me and if I was in his shoes. And that's why when you read that, get off your high horse, really? Like, really? Man. But I just want to point this out one more time. This says forgive both of them. Forgive Harry and Meghan. Well, and this is the one that gave it away. Where's it at? Move on with love. Where the hell is it? Let bygones be bygones. Here it is right here. This is the one, Meghan. Meghan put a stupid little Easter egg in this crap, and she thinks that no one's going to notice because Meghan wrote this. Those of us who live in complicated families learn to lower our expectations and move on. Not a period, but a comma, with love. You know, this is the thing about Meghan. She thinks she's a lot smarter than she actually is. You know, and watch. This is what I'm talking about. What an Easter egg is what she did with this stupid photo. With where is it? This one. Remember this? Save. No. Remember this stupid photo? Oh, no. And how she put like the photo of the belly here. And then this, where's the other photo? That's this one or something. I think it's this one. Or one of these is like the same type of thing that William and Catherine did. And then, of course, the photo with the horrible Photoshop of the kid. Like, this is what she does. And I talked to Ron about that the other day on live. She's putting Easter eggs in her content. This woman is insane. This is absolutely insane. She's totally delusional. And you know, even though she is delusional, we're finding them. And that right there, that was an Easter egg. Those of us who live in complicated families to learn to lower our expectations and move on with love. Great job, Meghan. You gave yourself away on that one. Well, this just was exactly what we thought it was going to be, right? We knew it was going to be trash. We absolutely knew it was going to be trash. We're looking at something where this is probably the future. We're going to see a lot of pressing on the royal family to do stuff like this. Oh, William and Charles, get over it. Get over it. Ugh. All right, so before we finish off, let's get into the chat for a quick sec. Stuck the giant Easter egg up her skirt and tweeted the moon bum dance. Yeah. Forgive the unforgivable. What kind of crap is this? Yeah, it's a propaganda, right? It's propaganda. That's all it is. It truly was from the first word to the end. It's just nothing but propaganda. And the fact that it was so short, you could tell Meghan wrote that crap and she didn't put any effort. Damn. The racist haters and the break-in on Catherine, it's Meg. And Casey knows it's way more serious, like stalking fraud serious. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me see here. Watch. We got something for that. Oh, yeah. Watch. Here. Oh, not that one.
In my professional estimation, Meghan is an overt narcissist, completely in love with herself, delusional, and believes she is a star. In my professional opinion, there is a dangerous obsession Meghan has with Catherine. She is dangerous and jealous. Meghan has stalker tendencies. She is obsessed with Catherine, and I think she definitely needs security from the Montecito stalker.
Christy, see, that's what happens. And this is actually kind of scary. We're not just making jokes here. I'm being honest when I say that. We're not just making jokes here. I think this is real. I do. I absolutely think that this woman's got a problem with Catherine. And when you're talking about someone that is so ambitious the way they say that she is, where she wants it at all cost or at any cost, she'll take it at any cost. She sees someone like Catherine and in her opinion, in her mind, delusional. In Meghan's mind, Catherine is what's standing in between her and being queen. That's real. That's actually really scary. So we're going to go ahead and end it off there. Thank you so much for being here on this morning edition of POV Live. We will catch you next time.